What's good, everyone? It's your boy Santo G, back at it. You already know, spreading unity, prosperity, and respect. Above all, if you're new here, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell. That way you're notified when I drop future content. So today, I wanted to take it back to the prison war stories. And I wanted to tell you guys as far as in Oklahoma, in Sayre, Oklahoma, at the North Fork Correctional Facility. I was working in the kitchen for like 2 years, and I was actually working the graveyard shift. Shout out all the homies that were working in the kitchen with me, man. So, long story short, I was working in the kitchen out there in the graveyard shift, and we would go in at 12 at night, and we would get out at 8 in the morning. It was an 8-hour shift, graveyard. You know what I mean? That's unheard of. To be honest, that's the first place that I was at that they had inmates working graveyard like that. You know what I'm saying? I would hear it on the streets, I would see it on the streets, but being in there working a graveyard shift, you know what I mean, it's crazy. They come, wake you up like around 11:30, and then at 12 they take you to the kitchen. They have the escort, you know what I mean, where they're walking you to the kitchen because it's midnight. You know what I mean? They can't have inmates walking around like nothing at midnight, so they gotta have a CO escort us over there, you know? So boom, I was working in the kitchen, I want to say a couple of months, and then the kitchen was cracking, man. I'm not even gonna lie, the kitchen was where it was at. Foods were getting down, like all kinds of stuff was happening in the kitchen. It got to the point where they assigned another homie to have the kitchen, like as far as, you know, if someone would have a building, it got to the point that they assigned a homie in the daytime, and then they assigned me in the graveyard shift. As far as like, I was there to oversee all the homies, to make sure that there was no friction with any other races, with the free staff, with the COs, just vice versa. Make sure that everything went smoothly. Because the way they would do it in Oklahoma, we'll go in at 12, and I know you guys are probably thinking like, at 12, what are you guys doing even there, like in the kitchen at 12? So what we'll do is we'll go in, they'll have people in the dish pit that'll start washing the dishes from dinner. They'll wash the dishes that were left over from dinner and all that. And then aside from that, they'll start prepping the food. They'll start cooking breakfast. They had big old planchas where they'll cook the food, and then the big old barrels, you know, where they cook the oatmeal and all that. If you guys have ever seen any type of prison movies where they got them big old barrels and big old spatula, and you're just big old pot, it's real stuff. I'm gonna try to put a picture right here. It's real stuff. It really be like that, you know what I mean? So you got people that go in there and they start preparing the food, and then you got people that just go and start cleaning and start just getting everything ready, just prepping everything. We're in the front cleaning the carts, getting the carts ready, because out of state we were self-fed. After the big old riot that happened, we wouldn't walk to the chow hall no more. They'll bring all the food to us. So every time, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they'll have little carts going to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they would give us the food. So we would work on breakfast. Our job was to get breakfast ready, and then around like 3-4 o'clock, those carts start getting sent to the building. Out there in Oklahoma, we ate breakfast like at 4:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, if it's getting delivered to your cell. The latest you're eating is like 5 in the morning, but 3:30, 4 in the morning, 5, you're already getting fed. You know what I'm saying? So we would just, boom, they'll cook the food, they'll get the line ready to where they passing the trays, and it's just one person scooping this, the other person scooping that. It's just a line. So they'll run the line, and you're just doing it till you fill up. Say there's 25 buildings. You're running thousands of trays at a time, filling up carts. They're leaving. You're probably taking little breaks while they have a linebacker. If you run out of oatmeal or whatever, boom, slap it on there. Boom. Say I'm scooping oatmeal or whatever I'm scooping, right, and I run out. I just, hey, linebacker, boom, they come. One takes that out, the other one, boom, and it continues. There's no stopping. If you got a good team, good linebacker and everything, there's no stopping. So that's what we would pretty much do. You run all that, goes out, then the cards start coming back. Clean up the cards, clean up the front, clean up the line. Everything goes smoothly, we'll be back in the cells by like 7. It was rare that we'll stay all the way to 8. Sometimes even 6, 6:30 we'll be back in the cell. But that's what they would get us out of our cell for, and run the graveyard shift in the kitchen. But it would get so hectic with people not wanting to work. Not only that, people not wanting to work, people stealing, people doing this and that. Like right there, what was a big no-no is you couldn't steal or anything like that and then have the population short. Like that's a big no-no, you know what I mean? Like if you steal before the population even gets fed and they find out that they were short, a building was short because somebody stole, like that could create something big like that, you know what I mean? So that's why it was, I guess some people could say you was kind of like having to police people, but some people are burnt out like that, you know? There's people that they survive off of just stealing. If they work in the kitchen and they don't have no one taking care of them and stuff like that, there's people that survive just based on like the extras or whatever they come up on, selling it back in the building. And you have, it's not just homies doing it, you know what I mean? You have every race has those knuckleheads. Every faction has those knuckleheads, you know what I mean? There's no ways around it. So it would get hectic at times. I want to say right there, it was crazy as far as because the cooks and all the staff inside the kitchen, they were contracted workers from like another corporation. They weren't staff. They weren't COs. The COs were there, of course, overseeing everything, but the actual like person that'll be looking over the cooks and all the other stuff, like overseeing everything, like taking tallies of how much food they have and all that, they had a contracted facility that would bring the food, bring the people would teach us how to cook, however it needs to be cooked, so on and so forth. So homies were cracking staff left to right, like right there was cracking. I want to give a big saludos and a big shout out to the homie Creeper from Pomona 13. You know what I mean? I think from Pomona Sur 13. The homie Creeper from Pomona, you know who you are, big dog. He actually tapped in and was like, hey, what's up, my G? You know what I mean? Just wanted to send mines, you know what I mean? Saludos to you, big dog, because hearing from you the other day is what made me think of this video. And as far as the kitchen, I remember, right, I'm going to tell you guys one story, right? I'm right there. I'm about to give a speech. Like, I'm trying to talk to the homies and all that. And they were talking, and I just remember all like, radio, radio, radio. Straight county status, you know what I mean? Anybody that's been in the county, anytime homies are trying to make an announcement or anybody's trying to make an announcement, they say radio, radio. Excuse me, homies, radio, radio. And radio means like keep it down, you know? Like, you gotta listen, there's an announcement about to be made. So I remember my first ever announcement that I made when I was letting them know, like, hey, this is me right here. You guys need anything, get at me. Any frictions with any other races or any staff, don't handle it upon yourself. Bring it to me and I'll deal with it type shit. I remember they were talking about radio, radio, radio. And all the homies just stayed quiet, looked at me and just started laughing. Like, damn, we haven't heard that in years, my boy. Like, fuck. I just wanted to share that with y'all though, man. But let me know, do you guys want to know more stories about the kitchen? Cause man, right there in the bucket room in the front, in the chow hall where the tables are at, that bucket room, ooh, you don't know how many, boop, pow, 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 pow. And it just stayed there. Whatever happened in the kitchen under my watch, whatever happened in the kitchen under my watch, it stayed there. Homies got into it, hey, take that shit to the mop room, homie. One-on-one, dale gas, and it stays here. It don't go nowhere. Tap in if you was with me. You remember when we'll be right there blazing, doing caldites. Motherfuckers will go inside the carts where we'll put the trays in. Motherfuckers will go inside the carts and go to sleep because they were tired, you know what I mean? Being up for days, man. I got stories for days about that kitchen, man. That kitchen was cracking. 2 years. Graveyard shift, man, I got stories for days. Let me know if you guys want to hear more, man. It's your boy Santo G. Shout out Killer Kush. Shout out Hadar Extracts. Follow my good people at Killer Kush, at Killer Kush _ 420. Follow my good people at Hadar Extracts at Hadar Extracts #1. That's HAYDAR EXTRACTS #1. Get at my good people at Frenchy Row Kennels. You need any type of pup, they gonna get you right. That's on Instagram, Frenchy _Row _Kennels. And get at my good people at Cali Herbs Los Angeles for all that hash. That's Cali Herbs Official on Instagram. And if you guys want some of that top of the line Zop, ounces for 100, it don't get no better than that. Get at your boy personally, and I'll pull up on you myself, man. That's how confident I am that you gonna like it, and we gonna do good business together, man. Let's get it.